Hello, thank you for watching the CEM Top 10 on friendship skills. I'm Sally Hansen, the CEM Content Lead and a PDF in Region 11. So this is going to be an overview of the friendship skills piece of the classroom engagement model. Promoting social relationships is one of the critical goals that we're working towards with classroom engagement model. This section of training is an entire module all in itself. And so we're just going to scratch the surface in this overview, and additional information can be found on the CEM Share site, in classroom engagement model training, and through your coach. So let's first start by talking about why friendship skills are so important. The DEC recommended practices have two specific practices that intentionally call out the necessity to develop social skills by encouraging children to initiate and sustain positive interactions with other children and adults in their routines. And then in our instructional practices, peer-mediated intervention is used to teach skills, to promote child engagement, and to further children's play and other skills. So we know that these are important recommended practices. The evidence is clear that using social relationships as a engagement and education strategy works. So let's take a look at some of the reasons that friends are so powerful. What we know is that when children have friends, a friend involves and includes their friend. So I might be exposed to new opportunities because my friend said, "Hey, Sally, come and play at the water table." And I might not have done that without some encouragement from my friend. We also know that friends look out for their friends' best interest. So if I have a puzzle I really like, and that's where I'm going to be most motivated to engage in a task, my friend might save it for me, or my friend might make sure I get a turn to go down the slide, even if I'm not as bold as some of the other kids in the class. And so friends will look out for each other, and that's important too. And then finally, friends encourage exploration and learning new things. And in preschool, Dr. Phil Strain, who has some of the research on connecting early friendships in preschool to third grade reading outcomes. The article about that is on the CEM Share site. It says it's the article titled, "You've Got to Have Friends." Dr. Phil Strain says that having friends helps you live on the preschool edge. And so if I'm not really sure about going on the swings, but my friends encourage me, I'll get to try all kinds of new opportunities. And that's what we want for children to have in preschool: exploration, opportunities. More opportunities of being engaged means more opportunities to learn. So that's the why behind it. The how is we need to teach friendship skills intentionally. We all know children who naturally have some friendship skills. Maybe they came from family environments where there's more than one child and they learned those things from their siblings or their cousins, extended family. Maybe they're in a neighborhood or in a childcare setting where they've learned some of these things. Other children need to be explicitly taught. I imagine it's very much the same as the learning trajectory for math skills. Some children just pick up counting and one-to-one correspondence. Other children need more practice and differentiated instruction. And friendship skills are no different. The next thing we need to do then is embed peer interaction into routines. One of the things that we will not cover in this overview in depth, but we have an activity on your CEM Top 10 in the PD Nugget, is reviewing how to embed consistent peer interaction into each routine. For our students who are more introverted, who have less pro-social skills, having more opportunities to engage with peers is really important, especially in a structured way. So when we think about things like passing out props at circle time, we're getting to that active participation, but we're also getting a lot of social opportunities when we pass a prop to 19 of our friends. And those are low stakes interactions that are fairly predictable, and children will be successful. So we can embed peer interaction into lots of routines to build those skills. Another thing we can do is prompt for peer interactions. This looks like us directing kids to kids. So rather than when the child says, Miss Sally, when is it snack time?" I say, hey, can you ask your friend Zoe to show you the schedule and find when snack time is? Or if I'm playing in dramatic play and the child brings me the injured dog, I might redirect them to, oh, I think that Matt is being the vet today. Can you bring your puppy over to Matt? And so we're prompting those peer interactions as much as we can. And then finally, reinforcing peer interactions and friendship skills and making sure children know when they're on the right track and giving them that positive reinforcement for going ahead and doing those peer interactions and having those positive skills. So on our share site, we have for you some visuals and some resources that can help teach the appropriate friendship skills. And so what friendship skills need to be taught? The research shows us that there are 4 critical skills that children need to make and be a friend. These are the skills that when children have them, whether they came to school with them or we taught them, they're more likely to identify at least one peer as their friend. And that's what we need to have happen. So the 4 skills are play organizing, sharing, assistance, and affection. And we're going to just take a look at what each of those skills looks like. So play organizing is someone has a play idea and someone follows the play idea. And the play organizer is the give a play idea. We all know that there are some children who are better at this. Some of our more outgoing children and students have these ideas. They like to organize play. It's important for us to teach this skill to our more introverted students, our quieter students, our children who tend to go with the flow. They need to be able to have the skill of initiating play. So some things that you might do to support that, you might have some visuals about how to invite someone to play. You might create defined roles in your dramatic play area, a cash register, a customer, a doctor, a nurse, so that it's more predictable and easier to organize the play. We do have some tools in the CEM Classroom Kit, which is a resource that your program may choose to purchase and invest in to support your use of classroom engagement model. The information about the kits is on the share site, and you may also ask a coach. So we might do some modeling with our puppets about how to ask a friend to play. We also have some very explicit play organizer visuals available about tapping your friend on the shoulder, saying their name, and asking them to play, offering them some play ideas. It's also a good idea to prepare them of what to do if someone says no thanks. Another friendship skill we need to intentionally teach is sharing. And so sharing is giving toys. Sharing is also requesting toys. And so breaking down those 2 steps, those 2 skills within sharing. Sharing is an abstract concept for children until we give them the concrete pieces. And so we have the visuals available that you can use from the share site. Think about some other ways to teach that skill. Think about when and how. Some skills should be taught during large group. Others should be taught one-on-one or in small group. And some skills should be taught and reinforced in all 3. So think about how and when you're going to use your resources to teach that skill of giving toys and requesting toys. There are a number of resources in the Classroom Engagement Model Kit that can be helpful in teaching sharing. And then we want to, again, just note that we need to be able to share non-important things and then also important things. So when we practice with non-important things, we build the pathway in our brain that says, I can give, I can request. And then we can reinforce, look, you gave your marker, you gave your friend the glue, you passed the prop to your neighbor, nice job sharing. And then when it gets to important things like the fire truck or the baby doll, we have some experience of having success giving and requesting. So we do have some visuals that can go along with that, and you're welcome to make your own. Assistance is another important friendship skill. So being able to help your friend, receiving help and giving help are both important pieces. So we can prompt a child to ask for help. We can even direct them away from ourselves and over to their peers. There is a friendship kit on the CEM Share site, and the friendship kit has all kinds of cool ways to support assistance as well as affection. Think about during transition time, could you have a classroom expectation to clean up your own area and then help a friend clean up? And then reinforce when you see that helping. I know some of our classrooms have just one adult in the room at a time. And so if that's the case, you can enlist some helpers in your classroom. Maybe someone fell down and they don't need a lot of help, but they do need a pat on the back or they need a paper towel or something like that. We can encourage peers to help one another with that. And then a final idea that came from one of our CEM sites in Minnesota is the Classroom Expert book. And that is when you have mastered something, turning off the lights, zipping a coat, tying shoes, cleaning up after snack, you get your picture on that page in the expert book. And then when someone needs help with one of those things, it's my turn to clean up the snack table and I want help with the paper towels, I know who to look for help. I'm sure you have many other ways that you can teach that skill of assistance and helping in your classroom. Here's a quick video that we can watch that the expert book can be useful for. I'm going to go ahead and enable the sound here. This is an example of how we can have kids do jobs that adults would normally do. And the idea behind having kids doing jobs that adults normally do, well, we have a few things that are happening. One, that child is actively participating in the routine. Two, they're working on their own self-help skills. Three, we're embedding social interaction, independence, and adults are then freed up to monitor engagement and learning. So let's take a look at how this plays out for Zipper Helper.
Keep helping, keep working, Gracie.
Actually, over here, let's do this. That's how you do it.
Those are good helpers.
It's in your backpack already. Nice job.
Oh, nice helping.
Can you
See if maybe Colton can get it now. Can you get it, Colton? Thank you.
So in that video, we see that kids are helping one another. And so they're building those friendship skills, they're mastering their own independence and those fine motor skills for Zipper. And those of us in Minnesota know we need all the help we can get when it comes to getting kids outside. The last skill that we want to intentionally teach and reinforce and prompt is giving compliments and affection. And this is an important skill for developing a friendship. If you think about your good friends, those are folks who most likely show affection to you in some way or another, or who are able to provide you with compliments and help you to feel good. And so the research shows us that that's what kids need too. We can teach this by modeling giving compliments. Teachers can give compliments to each other and to the children. We can teach children to ask their friend what will make you feel better, if they're hurt, if they're sad. Even having a classroom greeter job, we've seen a big success in offering children some choice as they come in and giving that friendship connection first thing in the morning. Do you want a hug or a high five on the way in the door as you're being welcomed to class? Comforting a friend who's hurt or sad. That's not something that just adults can do. Kids can do that too. And then during large group time, you might have a turn and talk where you say something nice to your neighbor. And so there's visuals that go along with this on the Share site as well. The last thing to know about friendship skills before we close this introductory section is to make sure that we understand children need to have those 4 skills in their repertoire, and they also need lengthy encounters and reciprocity. So lengthy encounters are 4 or more social exchanges. That's when we get out of the research more connection and more likelihood that a friendship will emerge. Additionally, reciprocity is give and take. We all know that we've had those people in our life where the only time you see them is if you call, you text, you plan, you ask how they're doing, and they never reciprocate. They never invite you out on their boat. They never invite you to coffee. They're just waiting around for you to do all the work. And those friendships are taxing. We call it buddy burnout when we have to do all the heavy lifting of the relationship. And so we want to be teaching children to do reciprocity. So first, lengthy encounters. Lengthy encounters is to have a goal that we have at least 4 social interactions between 2 kiddos. Those can be verbal or nonverbal, and each social behavior counts as 1 turn. So if I tap my friend Hope on the shoulder, tap, 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 that's nonverbal, but it's 1 social behavior. If she turns and looks at me, that's 2 social behaviors. If I say, want to play, that's 3. And if she says no, that's still 4. Ideally, she would say yes, but if she says no, we've still had a lengthy encounter because we've had going back and forth a total of 4 times. And that's what we're looking for. So if we're having our, a job is someone's going to pass out props at circle time, or someone's going to be a snack helper and pass out snack, we want to make sure we teach the routine in a way that they get to 4 interactions. And so the prop giver might say the child's name, get their attention, that's 2, pass the prop, and the other child says thank you. So we have 4. It can still be really quick, but we want to make sure that we're getting the most out of those interactions. And the same could happen with a snack, asking, do you want crackers or goldfish? And then the answer, and then the thank you. So there's those opportunities for us to get to those lengthy encounters. And then finally, just thinking about reciprocity is that everyone participates in the social activity, and we want to be sure to teach children to both initiate interaction and respond to the interaction. One strategy we can use is to intentionally pair 2 kiddos who have this skill with one who needs a little more support. So we create buddy groups where children have the support they need to be successful. And there's more information about lengthy encounters, reciprocity, visuals for friendship skills, ideas for embedding these interactions throughout the day, and teaching and prompting, all on the Share site. So thank you for joining us for the Friendship Skills Top 10.